That's right, we're doing this. For the third time! So, the last few, times I explained this were a bit over the top. Like, I was basically not knowing what I was talking about and stuff. And I kept going, like, off track of the story. But in this video, I'll only talk about the story. If you want to know how I made the videos and my mindset behind making them, check out the last time I explained this. That's why I did it. So yeah, let's just begin with the story of Stupid FNAF plush bricks. And not go sidetracked from 3, 2, 1, go. And also I written a story line of like how the plush bricks series played out in order. Well, mostly in order. I went and backtracked after I remembered and forgot a few things, but whatever. So I'm gonna look for that book, well not book, that story I've written that'll help me focus on what part of the story I'm talking about so I don't get sidetracked and stuff, so yeah. Let me just find it real quick. Okay, so I found it, but I'm not gonna rely on this thing too much because I think I can remember the story on the top of my head. Well, at least most of it. I can't remember, like, all the plot points of it or anything, but I can, like, remember, at, like, 80% of the entire series, pretty much. I'm not gonna include all the unnecessary, episodes that were made, like, just for fun or whatever. I'm gonna only include all the lore, tied-end episodes, which is why we're gonna be, going in order in the Multiverse Saga playlist. And if you saw my previous video, yes, that is true. Completely unrelated there, but I just wanted to say that. Okay. And I'm not just going to be covering Stupid FNAF plush bricks, I'm going to be covering everything in here and how I see it in the story. So, there's basically a thing that, okay, so we're starting the story now, okay? So basically, there's this, thing that exists called the Death Clan, well, in my story, not in real life, of course. And basically, what they do is they find, torture, and kill people to lower the population on the Earth. The current leader, named Sir Goggles, but his nickname is Darkness, kidnaps a kid who's 7 years old named Peterson Oldblade, and he takes him to Siberia. I don't say Siberia in the video, but I just say Russia, but the environment looks like it would be in Siberia, so yeah. And he trains a bunch of little kids to become great warriors, so they could, like, kill off people on the world and stuff. The book is really here, so I don't have to, like, look through the video again for every detail, because I've already written it down in here. And the year it all takes place in is 1962. That's when, Mr. Oldblade, or Peterson Oldblade, I should say, gets, taken. And for many years, they train him to become a super warrior or whatever. And along his journey, he made 2 friends. Cap, who is like who looks like a cap, but isn't. It's actually a foosball table leg, like rubber foot stop thing that broke off of the table, and Octopus Prime, who is a literal octopus plush. In 1968, Octopus and Peterson fight each other as a final test, and Peterson ends up winning. And Octopus's prize for winning is to go a long journey to, like, some other part of Siberia, which has a lot of leaves. And basically, these leaves, what they do is when you pick them up, they tell you your destiny. And when Octopus picked up his leaf for winning the final battle, his destiny was to betray the Death Clan, basically, and kill everyone. Which I guess is a good thing. You know, I'm just gonna put the phone down here, so I'm not gonna hold my phone the entire time because you're not really gonna be seeing much anyway. Just think of this as like a crappy audiobook. So then, Octopus buries Cap in the snow and freezes him to death. And shortly after that, Darkness brutally hurts Oldblade and freezes him in the snow because of his failure. Sometimes I'll shorten Peterson to Oldblade because that's his last name or whatever. You'll get it. Then after that, a bunch of Russian soldiers who are on the way to some war or whatever in the current year. I don't know what happened in 1968, but whatever. They trample through the Death Clan's camp, not knowing it's there because it's so small, because these characters are literal inanimate objects that are somehow sentient. So these Russian soldiers had no idea they were there, they just went through it, and their legs destroyed everything in the process of running through there. So, shortly after, no surprises, or a surprise to you, depending on how surprised you get, Cap awakens from the ice and discovers darkness frozen in the snow. It turns out 13 years have passed. Cap finds and saves Mr. Oldblade after 13 years of being frozen. So yeah, basically, darkness beat Peterson to nearly the death because of his failures of not winning the final competition, which is kind of mean. So yeah, and Cap and Peterson have been frozen in the snow for the past 13 years. And then Cap awoken, he discovered Darkness's body, and then he found and saved Peterson. Shortly after that, they flee to America to, like, get a better life or whatever. And once there, they stayed for a while. I don't remember how long they stayed there until this happened, but one day an empty Pepsi bottle shoots Cap dead with a gun. And Peterson Oldblade, now an adult, so we can call him Mr. Oldblade now, disturbingly and brutally slowly makes Simon the Pepsi bottle slowly die as revenge. And it's a painful scene to look at. You probably wouldn't believe how dark this series I made can get. This is an example of that. Like, who thought a Five Nights at Freddy's plush series could get this dark, you know? But hey, it may not be that dark to you. It may be very dark to you. It depends on the person who's watching this. But anyways, carrying on. Afterward, Mr. Oldblade discovers a CEO building with office cubicles and stuff like that, and commits genocide to everyone inside. Then he takes over the business as his own. Like, he takes over the entire building, and he claims the building as his own. And also, every time the cops or the SWAT would try to get in, Mr. Oldblade has been trained so brutally much at birth to kill people that he could, like, slice and dice through anyone who tried to go through the doors. So after a while, the cops stopped trying to get in the building and Mr. Oldblade, so they just left him to be with his business. We're talking about inanimate freaking objects here. This is a literal toy sword who's doing all this. But hey, in the end, it's a fictional series that I made up, so it's fine. I'm starting to question what's going on in my head. Anyways, Mr. Oldblade turns it into a company that approves battery brands made in factories such as Duracell and stuff like that. Also at this time, Mr. Oldblade hires workers and employees, then treats them like crap. He would abuse employees who didn't do what they were supposed to do. Sometimes he would do that to his employees for no reason, just for fun. So yeah, that's how cruel Mr. Oldblade can get. But you would expect someone to do that anyway, because he was, for his whole life, almost his whole life, at 7 years old, he'd been kidnapped, he'd been forced to do evil things, so yeah. So you would probably expect someone to do that to kill a lot of people. And then, after that, the normal FNAF lore comes in, meanwhile in a totally different universe. You know, you don't. Okay, here we go. Many years later, in the early 2000s, preferably 2003, a kid named Zebro lost his best friend named Wheelie, suddenly. Then Zebro tried to commit suicide by letting a car hit him. But the car missed him totally. Zebro decided to not kill himself and go home. A lot of time has passed, and it's 2017. Wait, hold up. Wait a minute. Okay, wait, there's some stuff that happens in between that. Forget I said 2017. So shortly after he goes home, it's just like misadventures with, Zebro and his sister called Uni, who's like a unicorn puppet from King Bonnie's channel. I made a episode about a year ago where it was like a comic strip about, the misadventures of, what's it called? The Misadventures of Zebro and Uni? No, it was called Steed Bros. Yeah, I remember. That episode wasn't really important, but I put it in the Multiverse Saga Timeline Order playlist anyway, but yeah, let's just move on. And in between all that, the first Stampy episodes come out in a different universe. If you know, you know. You don't, you don't. Which is why I'm not going to explain them. Everything about Hit the Target, everything about the secrets of his lovely world happens in between all this in a different universe, guys, in a different universe. Basically, what this playlist is about is, many universes connecting to each other, sort of like Avengers Endgame, but not, I guess. That's sort of how I'm making it. Okay, we're here now. Yeah, 2017. So I was right, alright. So yeah, a lot of time has passed and it's 2017. Zebro and his co-worker friend are working at Mr. Oldblade's company still. Mr. Oldblade has a talk with Zebro and explains he should work harder because Zebro has an incredible IQ, which is up in the 300s, beyond a genius. Mr. Oldblade brutally tries to kill Zebro. When the co-worker steps in, Mr. Oldblade stabs him and kills him. The police are finally able to bust in without being killed instantly, and the cop shoots Mr. Oldblade, but didn't kill him. He is taken to the hospital, then prison. Zebro gets recovered in the hospital and is free to go, but suddenly, a parasite enters Zebro's body and kills him in the process of his body being possessed by whatever this thing is. And then this parasite pretends to be Zebro inside of his own corpse. Of course, you know, you know, you don't, you don't. Cool Quest, recruits Zap 2, totally different. No, actually, I'm still, trying to figure out if this should be in my plush universe or a completely different plush universe or any universe. Like, I'm still trying to figure out, if, Cool Quest videos would take place, like, in the Plush Fricks world or some other universe. For now, I'd say they're in a different universe, but I'm not sure. Meanwhile, while all that is going on, in the secret base is some sort of agency called ANJON, Anjin, not the in real life company. I think it's like a shoe company. I don't know what it is, but it's not that. And Anjin, and they have been noticing that William Afton in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe found a way into a VR game, and Afton wants to travel to different universes to find more remnant, to get more power and stuff. Anjin tests a portal gun prototype and it works. Out from the portal came a hamster who can grant wishes, who is known as the Wish Hamster. The leader of Anjin, who is the only human there, named Justin, teams up with the hamster and create a more efficient portal gun. They test it together and it works. Out from the portal came Bill Cipher, and he started destroying the place. Bill joins the King Bonnie crew, and Anjin searches for his whereabouts. And by the way, the King Bonnie crew, like all the plushes in King Bonnie's channel, have no idea that Bill Cipher, destroyed, one of Anjin's bases. I know, right? The story changed from the whole freaking left field. Justin, who was the leader of Anjin, retires, and a bottle filled with sand called David becomes the leader. He is the son of Simon, who is the same person who killed Cap and was brutally murdered by Mr. Oldblade. Bill Cipher trains a plastic knife to be his sidekick while at King Bonnie's house. King Bonnie didn't trust Bill, but he chooses to stay. The Wish Hamster is given a new home inside a mountain, like a cave in a mountain, and he remains there. Meanwhile, David builds a few simulation rooms and gets the idea to put random kids in them to let them live a new life and erase their memory from before. David sends Anjin agents to kidnap kids and put them in a simulated fake room that simulates real life. Then after a few days, put them in a real-life version of that simulated area they were just in. The first two kids were Nightmare Foxy and Chica, as seen in the episode Real Beginning. Meanwhile, the so-called Zebro, who isn't Zebro, it's just a glitch-trap parasite taking over Zebro's body, who already killed him, builds a robot in the form of a red solo cup. Its purpose is to find and kill people automatically. It can teleport and fly, and the cup can also shapeshift into anything. Well, anything that can hold liquid, or is meant to at least, like a milk jug or something like that, or a water bottle. The cup is also programmed to build many clones of itself to create a cup army and kill many people at once. And the cup may be a robot, but it's somehow alive and sentient. Basically, world's most advanced AI, but the AI can actually feel and sense things like a person. The cup ends up at a house, the cup ends up at the Plushfricks house, and, well, it's the house the Plushfricks are being tested at. Nightmare Foxy fights the cup and kicks it on him, wait, hold on, and kicks the cup out of the house. Yeah, so Nightmare Foxy kicks the cup out of the house after it tried murdering them. What a way for Zero's creation. I wonder how it's gonna all fall out, you know? Well, what a start, I should say. Shortly afterwards, the cup makes way toward King Bonnie's house and attacks. The cup takes over Freddy, but is cured later on. Ennard puts cup away in a plastic green trick-or-treat basket. Meanwhile, at the house, randomness ensues. And then we got more Stampy / Cool Quest episodes. And then between all that, this is where the special strike happens in the alternate universe. Well, no, in a different universe, yes. But the reason why all these separate universes are here is because they're all gonna link up to each other soon. And you start seeing that in the stupid FNAF Plushfricks movie, but we won't explain that until way later on. I will vaguely talk about this stuff, but not too much, like so vague that you don't even know what I'm talking about, basically. But I will mainly talk about the stupid FNAF Plushfricks series, because it's the thing I made, so yeah. Okay, so many years later, randomness ensues. Well, not many years later, this takes place in 2020 now. There's a bunch of random episodes that take place here. Chica gets wet, Four speaks facts. Chica and Nightmare Foxy become a ship and talk about sea bears. Joey shoots Chica in the back of her head, and she bleeds red paint that's super squishy. Chica goes to a doctor to fix her up, but Dr. Nightmare Freddy replies his decision on a 2x4 Lego brick. He yeets her out of sight, and Chica gets Nightmare Foxy to shoot up the doctor's office and waiting room. But just like any other fictional show, when he shot up people are just fine the next episode. So yeah, the people that Nightmare Foxy shot up are fine because this is just a fictional show I made, so yeah. And then a new character called Gator74 comes in, whose real name's Alligary, but he likes to be called Gator74 because he has 74 teeth. And at one point, the Plushfricks somehow fuse themselves in Joey's phone. The character me, not the in real life me. Yes, there's a character me in the actual series, which is interesting. They fused in Plushfrick character Joey's phone and went into a Roblox game at one point, which is interesting, I guess. More randomness happens, and David dresses up like in a furry suit to pretend to be someone else. His suit is a beige dog stuffed animal from the last episode. The episode where, Dr. Nightmare Freddy was trying to fix Chica's wounds or whatever, where he kicked her out the back door. He was one of the people in the waiting room. He's, David, but in disguise as someone else who's named David. David pretends to be an emo, suicidal stereotype, and throughout the series, Anjan sticks shots in the Plushfricks. Oh yeah, Anjan sticks, like, shots, needles, or, like, drugs into the Plushfricks every now and again, and inject a special medicine that makes them forget and remember random things regardless of those events that remember happening being real or fake. Basically, dementia juice. And the reason why they were sticking, like, this, like, dementia juice or whatever into them is because, they're sticking it into them because it's, gonna limit, the Plushfricks from discovering who, like, Anjan is and stuff, and how they're, like, training them to defeat, William Afton in a different universe and stuff. Who is Glitchtrap as of right now? This takes place during the FNAF VR times, I guess, or slightly earlier than that. Let's see, what other stuff we got here? Withery sorry about that. Withery and Steve have a mild rivalry. They exit and go about their business. Bill Cipher ends up at their house and puts a mind control effect, and Nightmare Foxy eats it and goes rabid. Basically, so Bill Cipher suddenly appears to the Plush Rick's house, right? And he basically infects a mushroom and makes it so if someone were to eat it. So yeah, sorry about that, my dad came in. So yeah, Bill Cipher comes in to the Plush Rick's house. He infects a mushroom, Nightmare Foxy eats it and becomes rabid, and it's the process of him being Bill Cipher's minion, because Bill Cipher wants a minion for once, and he wants someone to help him do his evil deeds. And also another thing I should have said earlier, this is not the Gravity Falls Bill Cipher from the Gravity Falls universe. It's Bill Cipher, but from an alternate universe of Gravity Falls, if that makes sense. And Bill Cipher isn't originally my character. It's one of King Bonnie's characters that he allowed me to change the lore of a little bit or whatever, but yeah. So yeah, go check out King Bonnie. I'll show him on the screen right now. Well, his YouTube name, but yeah. He may or may not pop up, I don't know. I'll screenshot, I'll show you a picture of what he looks like, so yeah. Anyways, carrying on. Nightmare Foxy gets infected, the Plush Ricks try and stop him, he gets cured somehow, then he ends up eating another mushroom that was, also infected by Bill Cipher's, like, trick thing, to manipulate him into, becoming, a mushroom monster again, or, like, Bill Cipher's, minion processing to that phase again, but the Plush Ricks stop him again, and then, Nightmare Foxy becomes normal after one of the engine agents realized that the Plush Rick's technique to helping Nightmare Foxy out won't really work. And if this engine agent can't like inject them with a special needle quickly without anyone noticing, then he would be a mushroom monster forever. So then he sneaks into a house. David tells him that he is disguised that in a fursuit, pretending to be someone else, and the engine agent swiftly and silently injects it into Nightmare Foxy, and then yeah, it just goes normal from there. So the engine agent, without any of the Plush Ricks knowing his existence or engine's existence, the engine agent gave Nightmare Foxy a shot without him realizing. He injected a special medicine that'll wear off the effects of Bill Cipher's manipulation into him, so he'll be normal Nightmare Foxy again, and at the same time giving him that dementia effect, which the Plush Ricks call engine juice, by the way. When I say the Plush Ricks, I'm talking about the group of the FNAF plush friends that are like friends with each other and stuff, like Chica, Nightmare Foxy, Foxy, you know, the usual characters, the cast that you see in every episode, basically. Those all together are the Plush Ricks. They're one happy family, I guess. Yeah. Nightmare Foxy accidentally destroys Chica's beach ball, and unbelievably, such a tiny mistake caused a big drama scene. The Plush Ricks chase Nightmare Foxy off to property bounds and is basically a fugitive to them. Nightmare Foxy goes to the Eagles Club and to alert Chica, who is currently there, about the current situation and how everyone's hunting him down and stuff for that one little freaking thing. And Chica goes to the house and explains it all. Freddy doesn't forgive him, and they keep playing cat and mouse. Meanwhile, at the Eagles, which is a private club, by the way, it's like some sort of like American club thing that only certain people can enter or whatever. Meanwhile there, the alligator skull known as Gator 74 gets his head hit by a falling ladder and develops an alter ego, which turns out to be another parasite. So basically what happened is, Gator 74 was just casually wandering through the hallways of the Eagles, right, or the rooms, and then there was a parasite going into his head, infecting him, right? And then the ladder fell on his head, which disabled the parasite from killing Gator 74, much like how that parasite killed and possessed Zebro. But instead the parasite didn't kill Gator 74, but it did end up possessing him. So, shortly after, Anjin took him into their labs and stuff to cure him. But before all that, here's what happened before then. Well, before Anjin took him, here's what happened before that. Gator 74 attacks the Plushfricks as Chica and David try to stop him. Chica gets upset at Nightmare Foxy because he wants to go to Virginia Beach with the boys, but Chica doesn't go with them and they argue about it. Chica talks with Gator 74 as he is on his good side, and he tells her something that is inside of him. Chica understands, and they fight again. Suddenly, Steve kills Squeaky, who is a tiger toy, who is the father of Squeaky, who is his daughter, who was ripped to shreds by Gator 74 in his parasite stage at the Eagles. So Gator 74 kills Squeaky and Jeff Bird, and Gator 74 kills Squeaky's daughter Tigery. A portal from the Star Wars universe opens and the X-Wing fighter pilot discovers Tigery's body and leaves. Just as some serious crap was about to go down, Anjin basically resets the entire test and mess with the Plushfricks' memories and turn it all into a Super Mario Logan SML-styled series. They basically reset everything. That was Season 1 of Stupid FNAF Plushfricks. Now we're going into Season 2. Also, meanwhile, Nightmare Foxy, Freddy, and I believe Nightmare Frey was there too. They're at Virginia Beach right now, so none of this really happened to them. They're the only 4 who didn't really get reset. So after that, it's just normal episodes, like some, 12, 13-year-old owl kid goes to the Plushfricks' house and tries to break in. Another time, Chica forgets her homework or whatever for school. Basically standard episodes that Anjin has reset the minds of the Plushfricks to, reset everything and make everything go back to normal to limit how much, they can comprehend, a lot of information at once to, realize what's really going on behind the scenes. Man, I was spitting bars there. What if I make a Plushfrick rap or whatever? Imagine. That's not a bad idea, I might do that. But soon after that, the so-called Zebro talks with the Plushfricks to kick them out of the house. The Plushfricks pay it all by giving Zebro the treasure chest. The Zebro ends up buying the cabin, and the Plushfricks only have the house left. Withery starts living with and helping Zebro. Quickly, I do not want to mention the killing of Tigery happened after the... Oh, never mind. Quickly, I do want to mention that killing of Tigery happened after the ladder fell on Gator 74's head, but before the rest, a bone fragment of him was discovered. Then the X-Wing pilot discovered the body of Tigery, and the engine reset occurred. So yeah, that's the order. That's the correct order of what happened then. Nightmare Foxy and Chica have sort of a wedding, but not really. Let's say it's like they're reunited to be boyfriend and girlfriend again, but they want to go the extra step of celebrating it by pretending they're getting married, even though they're not. I always wanted to do that. I might. It's like one of those things where a boyfriend and a girlfriend, or a boyfriend or a boyfriend, or a girlfriend love each other, so much that they can't wait to get married, you know? So they just, pretend they're getting married, even though they're actually not, you know? I thought about doing that. But yeah, that's what Nightmare Foxy and Chica do. And then Chica proves how strong she is by lifting a TV, which proves that she's the strongest, physically, strongest Plushfrick out of them all. She got gains, I'll say that. After that, Freddy meets an old and wise garden gnome who explains to Freddy that they are possessed by souls of kids that were murdered by someone. Sort of a bit of FNAF lore, not really. This is a different universe, so yeah. Chica learns the powers of... Chica learns the powers, too, that Freddy has. Then David, Steve, Withery try to stop Gator 74. Steve gets seriously injured and David dies. Or so they think. A funeral for David takes place, and Freddy explains to the Plushfricks about the truth, which actually isn't. It's a fictional memory Anjin put in their heads. The Plushfricks waste time until Nightmare Freddy's insides exploded from a space heater being too hot. So yeah, basically, Withery, David, and Steve try to take back and fight back against the Gator 74, right? And then Gator 74 brutally almost kills Steve, but he's okay. Then Gator 74 kills David, or so they think. David is staging his death, actually. And a funeral for David took place, and etc., etc. But here's the thing. David was in his fursuit at the time, and he escaped his fursuit, so they made it think that his fursuit was him, even though his actual self was the sand bottle that was hiding inside of it. So the sand bottle, who is that real David, escaped the fursuit who he was wearing. So yeah, Nightmare Frey's inside got exploded from, like, a space heater being too hot or whatever, which is unrealistic, but it happened. He got healed, and he's all good. His vision's a little blurry right now, but he'll be back to normal soon. The Plushwicks go back to the Eagles, and as they play a video game, they get sucked into the video game, and they have to escape a cyber maze, literally a maze. They end up escaping, and Nightmare Foxy apologizes to Chica about being annoying to her, and end up back together. I don't remember, but I guess they broke up sometime in between the semi-odd wedding and the apology, or acceptable apology episode. The garden gnome, who's named Jack, I think, I could be wrong, basically sacrifices himself, and then he basically commits suicide to release his soul or whatever, which actually didn't happen. It's just engine simulating all this. I'll explain that later. Oh yeah, this is where it explains that. In between everything, Chica got a date and broke up with Withery and Freddy. It turns out SpongeBob stole the game from Foxy, and the Plushwicks have to go back inside the maze to enter and collect the code, which is basically the code to, like, shut down the entire, like, maze that's inside the game or whatever. And to shut down the game forever, basically. And Chica is connected with the virus in the maze because of her blood type, because the Plushwicks don't actually have blood. They have stuffing that turns red when it makes contact with oxygen. And also it becomes liquid. So yeah, basically blood, but not human blood. Basically how FNAF plush blood works is basically when they're stuffing, their innards are exposed to air, it suddenly becomes a liquidy red paint. It's not really blood, it's more like a paint type thing, material that hardens over time. Which finally explains why the Plushwicks have blood and are explained that they don't have blood in some of the previous episodes. They end up doing the job correctly and the game crashed. Foxy and Freddy visit the Eagles, which are making a haunted house, and Chica leaves the house without anyone knowing, so King Bonnie and Funtime Foxy could teach Chica the basic training of combat. So yeah, Chica suddenly leaves the house without a trace to go see King Bonnie and Funtime Foxy so she can train to learn, like, combat and stuff like that to defend herself. But she wasn't taught to the max level. She was taught enough to defend herself at least, but not to, like, the maximum level. She was given armor and stuff because, yeah. Yeah, she was given armor because she couldn't, like, completely defend herself without blocking with a sword or whatever, but yeah. The Plushwicks are concerned about her disappearance, then pull a Captain America the Civil War and split into separate sides and basically fight each other for it. Like, they're fighting for Chica, basically, about her disappearance. They go Captain America Civil War mode and split into two different sides. The Plushwicks went civil. Not civil. They split, yeah. They turned against each other. We're in Season 3 now, by the way. And also, I forgot to mention this earlier. Zebro and his evil dunces of teammates were fighting the Plushwicks within the game. The Plushwicks escaped the maze game first and deactivated the game and shut it down, while Zebro and his crew was still inside, so they killed them. Or so they think. Now resuming the present day. So yeah, shortly after, they realize fighting each other won't solve anything. The Plushwicks fighting each other won't solve anything. And they team up again as one united Plushwick family. They figure out Zebro and his teams are back and they start attacking. They get rid of them. All is good. But they know they're still alive, so they somehow survived being deactivated in the code, so they're still somehow in the real world, so yeah. The Plushwicks start playing Texas Hold'em. Nightmare Foxy wins the entire pot, and he wins Foxy's treasure. So yeah.